Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Fandomion. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. For any of you guys who might be interested or on the fence, I highly recommend checking out their website. Pay attention to the size chart. That'd be the biggest thing I would tell you guys. But with that being said, though, let's jump back into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto and Naruto discussion on the fallout from Boruto chapter 80. And today I want to shift gears a bit as we head into the time skip and look at why the stage has been set for Boruto to come out of the time skip way more busted than any of you guys might have imagined. Now, we all know following the events of the last two chapters, Boruto is at a point where his back is against the wall and he has no real options left on the table if he wants to set things right. He has to get strong enough to fight Kawaki, and he knows, given how quickly Kawaki burns out of chakra when using Ishiki's dojutsu, Boruto knows that Kawaki's not going to stay at his current level. He's going to get more accustomed to using the power, and that makes the gap between Boruto and Kawaki grow even larger. However, Boruto is at a disadvantage that Kawaki doesn't actually have. Boruto is far further beyond Kawaki when it comes to using the karma. This has always been the case when we think about it, given that when Kawaki and Boruto first met, he could cut on the karma seal right away at his own will, whereas Boruto for a long time was merely resonating with Kawaki, or the karma would cut on out of extremely dire circumstances to keep Boruto alive. Boruto, as he went through training, is going to have to start training to master the power of the karma at will much better than what he's already done. He said that he feels he can channel Momoshiki's chakra better now that he's 100% on Sasuke, but we've yet to see any real evidence of this actually being the case at all. Until we actually see it, we have to treat it like Prime Hiruzen, which means it's like a unicorn. Everybody talks about it, but nobody ever saw it. Boruto just happens to be going into the time skip with Sasuke, who doesn't have the same emotional attachment to him that he would normally have. In a reality where Ada never actually used her Shinjutsu, this Sasuke is very familiar with how Momoshiki's powers work, including his jutsu and his arsenal and his fighting methods, and Sasuke can be the one who pushes Boruto to use those powers in a more complete way. So far, all we've seen Boruto do is get a boost in power that wasn't even yet complete in terms of reaching the max power and experience, because when Momoshiki takes over Boruto's body, there's a noticeable increase where we not only saw more raw power from Boruto being used, but we also saw Momoshiki take Boruto's ninjutsu arsenal and knowledge and apply it in a more practical way than anything Boruto himself has ever done, which means the same thing should be applied for Boruto. Sasuke has the same task that Jiraiya did when he trained Naruto. Jiraiya had to teach Naruto all the basic stuff that Naruto should have learned at the academy already, but he also had to try and train him on how to use the power of the Nine Tails on top of that. Sasuke doesn't have the handicap that Jiraiya did. Boruto isn't an idiot like 13-year-old Naruto was, where you had to use 1 or 2 syllable words and you had to use a lot of pretty pictures and building blocks in order for him to understand. Sasuke can just jump right away into the complicated things and begin pushing Boruto. Some of that would start with training in an actual shinobi way in order to master the karma seal, which might seem counterproductive to you, but allow me to explain. For some reason, a lot of Naruto fans, they just equate training to the meathead equivalent, which is lifting weights and doing sprints and taijutsu training. However, that isn't the only thing that a shinobi does to train and raise their chakra levels. Meditation is also a key factor for training to raise the chakra levels, because 1/2 of your chakra is your spiritual energy as well. When Sasuke has Boruto sit there and begin the meditation process, the focus should be both on recalling the battle with Momoshiki that Sasuke made it a point to take Boruto to, where he wanted him to see how high-level shinobi do combat, but also use his Vanish from Rasengan as a trump card if need be. Boruto was there to see everything, recalling the way that Momoshiki fought and visualizing those movements and mimicking them mentally goes a long way when using this method. The next thing is that Boruto said he remembers the times Momoshiki took over his body, but it felt like a haze. But he was scared because he knew what was happening, but he couldn't control his own body. Muscle memory exists. That's something that you have to apply here. Boruto might have it as a blur, but through meditation, through clearing the mind, recalling those times that Momoshiki took over can be used to add to his fighting style, because Momoshiki was more practical in how he did battle when he's controlling Boruto. The other thing is that when Boruto does begin to start mastering Momoshiki's abilities and his knowledge, he has the advantage that Kawaki doesn't. Boruto grew up in a shinobi village and he's a prodigy at that. Adding the ninja element to Momoshiki's abilities and movements will take Boruto to another level as he begins training under Sasuke. In part 1 of Boruto, early on the stressor was on how ninja tools weren't necessarily a bad thing, it just depended on how you use them. And Naruto and Sasuke, both in the manga and the novel, stress that ninja tech should only be used as something to augment what a shinobi can already do, not replace their ninjutsu or the elements of being a ninja. Boruto, by mastering Karma, isn't using ninja tech per se, but the same principle is there. He isn't relying solely on the Karma and the Otsutsuki power-up and that experience. He's taking it and building on top of it, which that is going to be the key we have to keep in mind moving forward. Boruto would be doing what Naruto and Sasuke envisioned with ninja tech, only he'd be doing it with the Karma seal. Taking it a step further, Boruto has yet to begin adding Momoshiki's dojutsu to his arsenal at all. Whereas Kawaki and Jigen were able to use Ishiki's dojutsu, Boruto has yet to add Byakugan powers to his Karma seal. It makes no sense that Kawaki and Jigen can use Ishiki's dojutsu, but Boruto can't use either of Momoshiki's. It also doesn't make sense that Kawaki and Jigen both use Ishiki's dominant dojutsu, the unnamed eye pattern after the Dharma wheel, but Boruto can't use Momoshiki's Byakugan or even his Rinnegan. The advantages Boruto gets using either of those dojutsu are absolutely huge. He was literally trained in the Hyuga clan's fighting style despite not having a Byakugan. Boruto, if he were to have one, would be able to take a step further and engage in combat like a true warrior, blending the teachers of the Hyuga with the experience of Momoshiki, which would pay off his line of having Hyuga clan blood in his veins. If he were able to use the dominant dojutsu of Momoshiki, the Rinnegan, like Kawaki and Jigen use Ishiki's dominant dojutsu, he'd be able to take things a step further and train under Sasuke to master the basic 6-pass jutsu that every Rinnegan user gets when they gain access to the Rinnegan, because Sasuke mastered all those abilities. The same is true for Boruto's Jogan. Gaining that eye would lead to a plethora of new jutsu that Boruto can use, on top of getting superior perception than the Rinnegan and the sensory abilities that go beyond Naruto's 6-pass Sage mode. You also get the ability from the Jogan to move through Otsutsuki dimensions, which is another huge thing. Then when you factor in Momoshiki has knowledge of all Shinjutsu of the Otsutsuki clan, Boruto literally has a manual at his disposal by gaining the knowledge of Momoshiki via the true mastery of Karma. There are an untold number of Shinjutsu that Boruto could learn, and because he's a shinobi, there are ways to apply Shinjutsu that only Boruto will be able to think of that Momoshiki wouldn't have thought of, because Momoshiki discounts shinobi. Given Amato said all ninjutsu are imitations of Shinjutsu, Boruto really has a good chance to do something special here with this training if he puts his mind to it, and he has someone like Sasuke there who can turn things around for him. Between two generational prodigies and the benefits of Karma, there won't be any stone left unturned for Boruto. If we're being honest here, Boruto has a chance to do what his own father never did coming out of his time skip, which is Boruto has a chance to come out the time skip absolutely broken to the point where it's downright disgusting. The only question is, how hard will it be for him to master Karma during this time? And if it is hard, that's going to make us look at Kawaki a lot differently, because it shows just how much of a beast Kawaki is at using the Karma seal in general. Though, to be fair, he was trained on how to use the Karma, but it's still very impressive nonetheless. Anyway, I'm curious to know what you guys' thoughts are. How broken should Boruto be coming out of the time skip? While you think that over, click here to watch this other Naruto Explained video.